Well, you may not have the handsome hunk in the red Ferrari lusting after you for Valentine's Day, but you can always bake a cake for whoever happens to be around. Now we're doing a beautiful Black Forest cake, and we're doing it at the time of the year when cherries happen to be in season. If you can't find cherries, which you won't in February, then you can always use maraschino cherries, the bottled one. But let's start. We're going to use a chocolate garnish. Now the best way to melt chocolate is to break the chocolate up into bits, put it over a bowl of boiling water, and leave it until you can see the chocolate has now melted. Then you just mix it with a spoon, and we're going to scrape all this chocolate onto a piece of baking paper. Now we want to make some shards of chocolate. Then spread this chocolate out on the paper. Just keep the edges clean. Now you take another sheet of baking paper and you put it on top. Cover the chocolate. And you take a rolling pin and gently roll the chocolate. So that we spread it out nice and thin. Don't worry about getting the edges even. Now what you do is take the inside of a paper towel or foil or whatever you have, and just roll it up on that, and then secure the ends with paper clips. This is one that we did yesterday, and we just left it in the fridge because this time of the year it can be quite hot. Now all you do now is you unroll it, but you keep the inside piece of paper tight, and you can hear the chocolate breaking. And look at that. Where do you get such beautiful, slightly rounded little chocolate shards? Now we're going to use those to decorate the cake. It's quite important that you use the right size paper. The width of the paper here is the width of the normal baking paper, and we've gone about 50 centimeters long. Now we've baked our chocolate cake exactly according to the pack instructions into two 20 centimeter pans. Left it to get completely cold. In fact, we baked it yesterday. Now we're going to divide each layer into two. Now just measure your layer and then half that. And then you cut exactly like one would do when you're measuring a hem in dressmaking. You cut and then you put this down, and I'll show you a lovely way to divide cakes. Just pin with toothpicks all around exactly in the middle of the cake. Now you take thin dental floss, works brilliantly, or otherwise a thin, very strong string or thread. Go under the toothpicks, make sure you tuck it in nicely. Cross the thread over, and now the thread is going to act like a knife. And just keep pulling, 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 and you'll get the cake divided perfectly into two. Just look at this cute little tester for cakes that we found in Ireland. I wish I could find some more, and it's so appropriate for Valentine's Day. So this has been divided in half. Now we've got to put the filling on. Now Janet is just going to whip the cream, half whip the cream. Once the cream is half whipped, we're going to add some of the cheesecake mix, just to thicken and to stabilize the cream so that you can make the cake the day before. Here's the cream. Now we need to just calculate. We'll need 1, 2, 3 layers of cream for in between, and then we'll need a fair amount to go on top. So I'm just going to put this on, and we spread the cream over, and then the tinned cherries. The recipe is on the website, so you don't have to try and remember this. I just need to show you the technique. We've used the juice from the cherries when we made the chocolate cake, and the rest of the cherries we're now going to use as a filling for the cake. Use about 1/3 of the cherries on each layer. Then push the layer firmly in position. So layer number 2. These little bent palette knives are stunning to use for this kind of work. Some more cherries. Layer number 3. See, this is the way to get a cake that looks hugely impressive because it's so tall. Now we can put the last of the cherries on here. Yo, that looks lovely, eh? Not a quiet cake. Then the final layer of cream goes on top. Then we can put either the maraschino or the fresh cherries on top, and the chocolate shards. And I would suggest that if you were going to keep this cake for the next day, which it will do perfectly well, I mean, you can spend all that time doing your makeup and the cake is all ready. Sweetheart, all I can offer you is a divine cake. Happy Valentine's Day.